They laughed at my flip phone, called it ancient, called me outdated. I smiled, nodded, and pretended I didn't know what Bluetooth even was. But what they didn't see coming. I'm the majority investor in the very app they overshare their lives on, and I see every filtered post, every private message, even the ones they think they deleted. I don't mind being underestimated. In fact, I've come to love it. The world moves fast, faster than I care to keep up with most days. I've still got my flip phone. The same one I've had since 2007. It's reliable. Doesn't scream at me with 1,000 notifications or beg me to check it every 5 minutes. I press a button, I make a call. That's all I need. Apparently, that makes me a dinosaur. At least according to my granddaughter's friend group. Last Thanksgiving, I flew out to visit my son and his family in San Diego. A big sunny house with cold tile floors and colder smiles. They hugged me at the airport like they were picking up an inconvenience. I brushed it off. I always do. But the real slap came that Saturday night. My granddaughter Aubrey had invited some of her friends over. Teenagers in fake lashes, high-waisted jeans, and constant TikTok poses. I stayed in the kitchen, just refilling the deviled egg platter, humming to myself. Until one of them, a girl with long blonde braids and a tongue too loose, spotted my phone on the counter. "Oh my God," she laughed. "Is this yours?" She held it up like it was radioactive. I walked over, calm. "Yes. That's mine." "Wait, it's like a flip phone?" Aubrey chimed in, her voice sliding into embarrassment. "Grandma, are you serious? What do you even do with this?" "I call people," I said. The table exploded in laughter. One of the boys snapped a photo of it. "This belongs in a museum." Someone else joked, "Quick, someone teach her how to use Instagram before she croaks." I stood there, smiling politely, holding my deviled eggs. My son walked by and did nothing. Just sipped his soda and avoided eye contact. No one told them to stop. No one said, "That's enough." And Aubrey? My only granddaughter? She filmed the whole thing on her phone and posted it. Captioned it, "Grandma's got that Jurassic tech face with tears of joy #FlipHonaQueen." The video got over 100,000 views. I found out because my neighbor's grandson Nolan showed it to me. Said, "Hey, this you, Miss Thompson?" It was. And that's when I stopped smiling. Because here's the thing no one knows about me, I may carry a flip phone, but I'm one of the original investors in a startup called SnapView. You've never heard of it, probably. But your phone has. SnapView is the analytics backend for half the social apps teens use. It tracks engagement patterns, builds anonymous heat maps of trends, and, under the right permissions, archives content even after it's deleted. I don't have social media. But I built the empire that fuels it. Back in 2009, I took a chunk of my late husband's insurance and backed a group of college kids trying to change the data game. People said I was foolish, who'd trust a bunch of nerds with that kind of money. But I saw something in them. And 15 years later, I get quarterly dividends that make my old social security check look like pocket change. But I never told anyone. Not even my son. Let them think I'm broke and backward. I'm not in this for bragging rights. But now, I want them to know. I want them to know I see everything. I called up Marcus, the CEO of SnapView, who still calls me Mrs. T. He was the scrappy one with a twin mattress on the office floor when I met him. "Hey Marcus," I said. "Need a favor." "For you? Name it." "I want access to one account. Aubrey Martin." He didn't even ask why. Just said done. And within minutes, I had everything. Her public posts. Her private messages. Her deleted videos. Her filtered selfies. Her comments on other people's pictures. The gossip. The lies. The jokes at my expense. Even the one where she mimicked my voice and called me a useless antique. I read it all. Every cruel word. But I didn't cry. Instead, I started planning. The next day, I mailed her a brand new smartphone. A sleek, latest model one with a little note that read, "For the digital queen herself. Enjoy your reign. G.T." No signature. No explanation. She posted it, of course. Tagged the company that made it. Thanked whoever the rich auntie was that sent it. And I watched. Quietly. You see, I'm not just watching her anymore. I'm building a portfolio, of influence, of opportunity. Every app she signs into, snap view touches. I see who she's dating, what she's lying about, who she's cyberbullying. And more importantly, I see what she's hiding. Because sweet little Aubrey? She's not just rude. She's reckless. And I'm just getting started. They think old folks don't know how to use the internet. They think we don't understand technology, or what it can do. That we don't know how to move quietly in a digital world that was built by people our children's age. But here's the thing, I didn't have to know how to build the machine to own it. And now, I'm using it. It's a Tuesday when I open my laptop and log into the private dashboard Marcus gave me access to, the one that most SnapView employees don't even know exists. It's got a clean interface. Aubrey's profile is already loaded. I can see everything. The first thing that catches my eye is the word flagged. There's a red alert beside a conversation she had last Friday night. She's messaging someone named X. No profile photo. Just a bunch of cryptic hearts and emojis in their bio. I click. And what I read isn't just embarrassing. It's dangerous. She's talking about stealing. Specifically, how she took $200 from her mom's wallet to buy a fake bag and lie about it on her influencer story. She's bragging that she blocked the woman who actually owns the design, because she doesn't want some small-town Etsy chick to ruin her image. I scroll deeper. There are messages where she talks about skipping school, faking brand deals, catfishing boys for attention. It's not harmless teenage rebellion. It's calculated. I sip my chamomile tea and sit with it for a moment. Then I click archive. Not to delete it, just to keep it tucked away in my little digital filing cabinet. Organized. Clean. Ready for later. Because if she thought mocking me was a game, she hasn't even seen the board I'm playing on. By the end of the week, I've created a folder called Aubrey's Internet Life. It has screenshots of deleted posts, videos she took down after getting caught lying, voice notes where she complains about her mom, dad, teachers, friends, messages where she bullies smaller creators for clout, payment records showing she bought fake followers. And I'm not the only one noticing her cracks. That same neighbor kid, Nolan, drops by to help fix my garage light. He's sharp for 17. Teaches coding at the community center on weekends. Your granddaughter posted another reel today, he says, squinting up at the light fixture. Got dragged in the comments. Oh. I say, innocent. What about? She said she was invited to a luxury skincare retreat in Malibu. But someone posted proof it was a pay-to-attend event, and she didn't disclose it. Big no-no. I nod. Sounds messy. He chuckles. Whole thing's going viral. She's calling it haters, but it's catching up. I smile into my coffee cup. The internet never forgets. But I make sure it remembers everything. A week later, my son calls. The first call in months. Hey mom, he says, voice suddenly sweet. Aubrey told me someone gifted her a new phone? That was you. Yes. There's a long pause. Then, well, that was very generous. She's been, really into this influencer thing lately. You know, she's talking about taking a gap year to focus on brand deals. I see. And I thought, maybe if you're investing in her, maybe you could help sponsor her? Just a little something? To help her take off. The audacity. He wasn't worried when they were laughing at me. But now that she's tangled in her own mess, and he smells dollar signs, he's calling for a handout? I'll think about it, I say calmly. Then I hang up and add him to the folder. 3 days later, the house of cards begins to wobble. A popular YouTube channel, one that does digital investigations on fake influencers, posts a video titled, Exposing Fake Collabs and Bot Followers, the Aubrey M Files. They don't say how they got their evidence. But I know. They use clips of her lying on camera. Screenshots of her back-end metrics. A breakdown of her fake engagement ratios. Even a chart showing how her follower count jumped by 10,000 overnight, suspiciously after midnight, suspiciously from inactive accounts. The comments are brutal. I don't read them all, but one stands out. This is what happens when you mistake attention for legacy. Oof. Legacy. That word hits different. Because that's exactly what I've been building, quietly, intentionally, while they mocked my flip phone. I get an email that evening from Marcus. Just one line. You're a legend, Mrs. T. Want me to lock the folder? I type back. Not yet. It's not finished. Because I'm not done. Not until they know exactly what I own. Not until they realize the woman they dismissed, mocked, laughed at, now has more data on them than any algorithm could dream of. And more importantly, she knows how to use it. The storm doesn't hit all at once. It creeps in slowly. First with a rumor. Then a few online digs. Then boom. An influencer scandal. Aubrey posts a tearful apology video on Sunday night. The classic setup, soft lighting, oversized hoodie, mascara smudge for authenticity. She sniffles and says she's so sorry if anyone felt hurt by her past mistakes. But no one's buying it. The comments are relentless. You didn't accidentally buy followers. You built your brand on lies. Who brags about stealing from their mom? You called yourself self-made. Now you're just self-destructing. I watch the chaos unfold while folding laundry, sipping mint tea, and feeling nothing. No smugness. No guilt. Just peace. She called me outdated. A relic. But guess what? The same flip phone she laughed at still works. Still calls. Still texts. Still connects. Unlike her brand. My son calls again 2 days later. This time he's not sweet. He's panicked. Mom, what did you do? I tilt my head. I'm not sure I follow. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That account posted private stuff. Screenshots. Messages. You had access. Aubrey said you installed something on her phone. I gave her a phone, I say. What she did with it, or what it did, is her responsibility. He's breathing hard now. She's getting dropped by sponsors. People are calling her a fraud. We might have to take legal action. I set my teacup down gently. Legal action? I repeat. Silence. I find it interesting, I continue, that you never called when she mocked me in front of you. Never defended me when she broadcasted my flip phone to millions. But now suddenly, you're concerned. He exhales sharply. It's not the same. No, I say. It's not. Because now there are consequences. Click. That same night, I call Marcus. I'm ready, I say. Let's open the vault. He laughs. You want it all public? Not everything. Just enough. So we cure it. One post at a time. We start with the screenshots of her making fun of small business owners, calling their handmade crafts dusty trash. Then the audio clip where she mocks her fans for falling for the sob story stuff she uses for views. We post it all through a new page, one that doesn't link back to me. The name? Truth Wears Wrinkles. Marcus picked it. Within 48 hours, the account has 50,000 followers. People are eating it up, especially because it doesn't just expose one person. It shines a light on a culture of fake authenticity. It becomes a movement. Aubrey becomes an example. And me? I become invisible again. Just the way I like it. But there's one more thing I need to do. Closure. So I go visit her. She's holed up at her apartment, the one she begged her dad to help her rent. Her eyes are puffy. Her nails are chipped. Her phone is face down on the coffee table like it bit her. She opens the door and stares. You, she says. Me, I answer. She steps aside. I walk in, slow and steady, wearing the same navy slacks and white cotton blouse she once said looked retirement home chic. I came to talk, I say, not to gloat. She doesn't speak. So I do. You built a brand on attention, not substance. When it cracked, there was nothing to hold it together. You could have used your voice for something meaningful. But you chose smoke and mirrors. Her chin trembles. I don't soften. You laughed at my phone. But it's never glitched. Never needed updating. It doesn't pretend to be more than what it is. I lean forward slightly. And neither do I. She turns her face, jaw tight. I let the silence sit. Then I stand. I'll be leaving the app on your phone. You won't be able to remove it. Her head snaps up. That's illegal. No, I say calmly. You agreed to the terms. You just didn't read them. I walk to the door. One more thing, I add. You forgot to delete the video of you mocking your grandmother's handwriting. That was the first file I archived. You should be more careful. Her face crumples. I leave. By the time I get home, the post is already live. It's titled, When Clout Costs You Family, A Lesson in Legacy. The closing line? She mocked my flip phone. But I remembered everything she forgot to delete. I used to believe karma would sort things out. That life had a natural way of balancing the scales. But sometimes, karma needs a little help. And sometimes, that help looks like a quiet woman with a flip phone and a long memory. By the end of the month, the Truth Wears Wrinkles account has exploded. 100,000 followers. Then 250,000. Then over 500,000. People think it's run by a group of retired tech experts exposing influencer fraud. I don't correct them. They send tips now, screenshots, audio, old clips saved by fans before they were deleted. The comment sections are full of people saying they feel seen for the first time. Heard. Respected. Meanwhile, Aubrey is unraveling. Her posts go from inspirational to defensive. Then silent altogether. Brand deals? Gone. PR team? Quit. Her agent? Terminated their contract the moment the screenshots went viral. And my son? He's stuck in the middle, clinging to a collapsing image. But I'm not done yet. Because there's still one file left in the archive. The one I saved for last. The one she never meant for anyone to see. It's a video. Not staged. Not posed. Just a recording from her front-facing camera, taken one night when she was half asleep and ranting into the void. She calls her followers gullible sheep. Mocks single moms. Laughs at disabled creators who ask for support. Says the only reason she posts family content is because those suckers eat it up. I never intended to release this one, but then I found out she's planning a rebrand. I saw it on her private schedule. A pitch deck to launch a forgiveness arc. She wants to cry on a podcast. Share a vulnerable moment. Return stronger. Reclaim the sympathy wave. So I post the video. Unedited. Uncaptioned. Just one sentence. Before you forgive, hear the whole truth. The fallout is nuclear. She tries to apologize again, but this time, no one listens. She's no longer a misunderstood influencer. She's a documented manipulator. Articles come out. Think pieces. Podcasts pick up the scandal. The term Aubrey syndrome starts trending, a phrase used when someone builds a fake brand and gets caught. I didn't expect that part. To be honest, it makes me a little sad. Not for her, but for what she could have been. She had charm, wit, influence. If she just used it with heart. But instead, she built it on lies. And now, even the truth won't save her. A week later, I'm in the backyard trimming my basil when my son walks in. He's holding his phone, looking tired, not angry, not frantic. Just tired. He sits beside me on the patio without asking. I know it was you, he says quietly. I say nothing. I should have stopped her sooner. I saw it happening. I just didn't want to believe it. Still, I say nothing. He looks at me, eyes red. She's gone, Mom. Packed up. Went to stay with some friend in Arizona. I nod. She said you ruined her. No, I finally reply. She did that herself. I just made sure the lights were on when it happened. He lets out a breath. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. I glance at the basil in my hand. You don't need to apologize to me. You need to listen better next time, not just to me, but to yourself. Silence stretches between us. But it's not heavy anymore. It's quiet. Peaceful. Like fresh snow after a storm. Aubrey never recovers her following. The rebrand never takes off. Eventually, she disappears from social media altogether. Her old videos stay up, mostly because people use them in reaction clips and takedown threads. Meanwhile, Truth Wears Wrinkles becomes something bigger than I ever imagined. It's not just about Aubrey anymore. It's about exposing the digital smoke and mirrors, helping people see what's real and what's just performance. I start doing interviews anonymously, voice filtered, face blurred. I never say my name. Never take credit. Because it's not about fame. It's about reminding people, you don't have to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes, you just have to pay attention. And never delete the receipts. I still use my flip phone. Still sip mint tea. Still plant herbs. Still wear the same white blouse and navy slacks that Aubrey once ridiculed on her livestream. But now, when I walk down the street and pass a group of teens on their phones, they nod at me. Like they know. Like I'm part of some secret club. Maybe I am. Maybe I always was. I just had to stop apologizing for it. And start remembering what others hoped I'd forget. Some victories are loud. Mine is quiet. A cup of coffee steaming on the porch. A flip phone resting by my side. The sound of the wind, not notifications. And a piece that can't be posted. But every now and then, I get reminders. Like this morning, when a letter arrived. No return address. Just a crisp white envelope with my name spelled perfectly. Full name, middle initial, even the hyphen I never use outside of legal paperwork. Inside? A single photo. A screenshot, to be exact. A photo of Aubrey. Only this time, she's not posing. She's not promoting. She's not pretending. She's working. Behind a counter, in a cafe somewhere in Flagstaff, wearing a stained apron and no makeup. Her hair pulled back. Her eyes hollow. The caption someone had added read, "Used to teach us how to manifest millions." Now she's serving $4 lattes. I don't smile. I don't gloat. But I do tear the photo in half. Not out of hate, out of closure. Because I didn't do this to ruin her. I did it to reclaim myself. And I did. After the Aubrey saga ended, I stayed offline for a while. Not because I was scared. But because I was satisfied. The Truth Wears Wrinkles account stayed up, but I posted less. Just important things. Stories that mattered. Tips to protect people online. It started becoming a resource. Schools reached out. Teachers used it to teach kids about social media manipulation. A few lawyers asked for permission to cite it in court for influencer-related cases. The best part? I never revealed who I was. Not even once. The account still carries the image of an antique key on a velvet background. No name. Just truth. My son has changed too. He moved back into his apartment. Started seeing a therapist. Got a job, a real one. Something in logistics. Nothing flashy, but it makes him proud. He visits once a week now. Sometimes he brings me groceries. Sometimes we just sit on the porch and talk about the sky. And sometimes, he apologizes again. I always tell him the same thing. You were caught in someone else's illusion. The only shame would have been staying there. He nods. He understands. It's a slow healing. But it's real. One afternoon, I get a call from a young woman named Talia. She's a college student working on a thesis about digital ethics. She wants to interview me. I say no at first. But then she says something that makes me pause. People think silence is safety. But sometimes silence protects the wrong people. What you did. That was bravery in plain clothes. Bravery in plain clothes. It hits me in a way I didn't expect. So I agree. We meet in a quiet cafe near the library. She's sharp, respectful, observant. Doesn't record our conversation. Just listens and takes notes. At the end she says, "You made people think. That's more powerful than going viral." And I realize something. This whole time, I wasn't trying to fight Aubrey. I was trying to remind the world that truth doesn't need filters. And that you don't need to shout to be heard. You just need to speak at the right time. Months pass. Seasons shift. The account's following stabilizes at around 900,000. Not bad for a flip phone grandma, as one meme labeled me. I printed that meme and framed it. Because, honestly, It makes me proud. Then one evening, I hear a knock on my door. It's late, nearly 9 p.m. I open it slowly. It's Aubrey. No cameras. No followers. Just her. Her eyes are puffy. Her lips tremble. She holds a small cardboard box. I came to return this, she says, barely above a whisper. It's my old wedding locket. The one that vanished during a family visit years ago. I never said anything. Just assumed it was gone forever. She places it in my palm. I'm sorry, she says, voice cracking. I thought I had to be someone else to matter. I nod once. You still do. She flinches. But she doesn't leave. I don't expect forgiveness. Good, I say, gently closing the door. I don't slam it. I don't curse her out. I just let the silence speak louder than my fury ever could. That night, I don't post about it. I don't even tell my son. I just sit on my porch, flip phone beside me, locket in hand, and look at the stars. Somewhere, I hope Aubrey finds her real self, not the version that chases likes or manipulates grief for clicks. The real her. Because beneath the lies, there had to be something once. Something worth building again. Just not at my expense. Never again. I sleep easy now. Not because life is perfect, but because I proved something, to the world, yes, but more importantly to myself. That age doesn't dull wisdom. That silence isn't weakness. And that justice doesn't always need a gavel, sometimes it just needs a login.